Well, talking in the topic we were talking about sync. Here, for example, there's different layers of synchronization between music, light, and visuals. There was, for example, you saw at the beginning that Garnet could trigger light from his desk, from his music desk. We have also in the time there's like a timeline, kind of timeline, that for the show to run, because the tracks they are playing live, but you have a certain structure. This structure is shared between light, visuals, and music. And the third level of synchronization is the operator. There's one of us, there's one of Pfadfinderei there in every show, and he's triggering clips on the tempo. And we were talking before that was that's a very important part of the process, because every venue is different, every show is different, and you have to feel it, you have to be there and make it alive. Sometimes when you make everything synchronized to the millimeter, it loses a little bit the touch and the feeling. I'm going to go for another project we did. I'm going to show you first and then we talk. This project, I wanted to show it because it has something different. Not only to visuals for music, but we want to go out from this field sometimes and do something different, like installation, like interactive stuff. And from that you learn a lot. And for example, for this exact installation, we needed to develop a new system to synchronize that kick on the ball to what's happening on the screen, and that then we could use this small piece of software in our shows lately, and we use it in this one.
Tanz in einem neuen Licht sehen. Breakdance trifft auf Illusion. Die neue Show der Breakdance-Weltmeister Flying Steps. Red Bull Flying Illusion. Demnächst in Zürich. Tickets ab sofort erhältlich.
Here we did also the stage design and like the digital scenography for the whole show, and this idea is still of growing a little bit and going out just from the visuals to do a little bit more. And this, from the software point of view, from my point of view as a programmer, it starts to get complicated, and you need to escalate, and you need new tools and new software. And that's, for example, very interesting for us when we started to use D3, this is the one we're using here now. And for example, for the project, the next one, we use D3, and I'm going to show you and then. as you can see, it's not real footage. The client that doesn't allow us to show it, but yeah. You can see that we have a long catwalk that was for a car presentation. We have 45 meters of screen on both sides, so it was 90 meters of screen, plus 6 projectors on behind the screen. And this kind of show needs a media server, needs something powerful behind, something that doesn't fail on your hands, and that's why we started to use D3. And the important thing now with D3 and what we did with this show is that it allows us finally to use real-time graphics. So we had on location, we had some dancers, and we filmed them, and then we have the real the input from the camera, and we could deform and distort the video in real time. There's behind my screen, there's sometimes some of these real-time graphics, but you can not see them very well. I'm going to show you whoever it wants to come later, and I'm going to show them.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are very delighted to welcome you. Now just begins the verse.
We are falling now. Words written down, they are falling now.
Well, that's from Pfadfinderei, and then I'm going to show you a little bit about D3, just for a second, and then maybe we can have a talk altogether. So, yeah, that's the nice thing here. So one of my favorite features here from D3 is, for example, that is what we call pixel perfect. So if we zoom in, we can see every pixel where it's going to be displayed on the screens finally, or any LED screen, any projector, whatever you have, you're going to perfectly see every single pixel. And then let's take this out. I'm going to show you this real-time engine that D3 has right now, that is called Notch. That's what I was saying, that finally D3 allows us to create something that interacts with the in the moment. It's alive. So, for example. That's a node-based programming environment that you all know from other software like parts composers, and it's yeah, really easy to use. You can create many things. But we will talk later after the conversation.
Give it up for Fanta. Give it up for Fanta. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, I think you have some technical questions.
Well, yeah, I've heard about Notch. I haven't really seen it live, so and I saw some examples. And you're saying it's real time because with the D3 you kind of pre-program everything, mostly or not? Because I saw the scenery you made, which was I think all built and pre-programmed. And now you say the plugin of Notch is a real time.
It's a real-time engine that's not render. It's happening right now, and you can change parameters, for example, here, and say there will be less connections, right?
And then that's the results.
These parameters, you can expose them and then change in D3. That was what we were doing before, for example, with 2BP and Quartz Composer.
Yeah.
You were making your patches and then putting them inside 2BP and playing them live. That's the same approach, but from a media server.
Which is what you want, for example, with if you're on a show and when you're still operating.
Yeah, exactly. You can assign it to a MIDI controller. You can change it live. You can assign it in the timeline. It's really powerful.
Maybe a stupid question. Why not use Resolute or something then, or what's the advantage of this plugin into a media server?
The advantage is that you are using the media server, and the media server has these super security features that is not going to crash. Or if it crashes, you have a backup there that is automatically switching on sync on frame, so you don't see the switch.
Okay.
Or if you need to run 45 projectors, then that's
no Resolute. So what's okay? Talk about techniques. What's the largest project you did with in the numbers of projectors or shows which you thought, wow, this was like cutting edge.
Yeah, like this one I was showing before. This. Yeah, there was 6 projectors plus 45 meters of LED. You need the media server for that.
Okay. And how many media servers would you need for that?
We use it for this one 2 actually, just one and then the backup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you get to work with the stage designers, light designers, animators. You bring all of that together in D3 and you can sort of live go through it, or is this still a render of what you're seeing?
No, it's live. When there's both, you can use videos that are pre-rendered, you can use live cameras, and you can use right now also Notch. You have this interactivity happening.
I see. Now another interesting thing that you mentioned, and it's not about the technical stuff, but could you elaborate a little bit more about how you actually would like to have some off-sync things by triggering it live yourself to still give it a human aspect. I mean, you don't have to. You could make it perfect, but is it because you feel like the technology is still not there that allows you to sort of switch around your songs? Or 'cause it seems to me that it should be there, right? You should be able to just play whatever song that you like and then have everything still in sync. And
yeah, of course. The technology is there, but for example, if the musician is switching to songs, and playing one before the one that was thought to be played, we have automatically changes for that, so they can be free and don't think that we are going to miss that cue, so they can quickly change the song and the visuals go with them. So technology is there. Plus, but this is just like the baked track somehow for the visuals. And then on top, we have more options, more layers to create and to evolve and to construct the show, visual show.
Okay. Are there questions from the public?
Hi, I was curious, can you write code in Notch, like GLSL or C or Python? Or is it only node-based?
Right now it's only node-based. You can import your own HSL shaders, but they need to have a special format, and this format is not open yet, but it will be, yeah.
Which code would you want? What would you want? What language or plugin?
Well, I would prefer that it's has some sort of openness, so that well, what you said before, if you can write your own shaders or can write your own code, then you can unleash even more creativity. So if the format gets open, it would be even better.
Yeah, totally. It's not OpenGL based. That's a problem. So you don't have GLSL shaders, but you have HSL. Yeah, that at the end is same thing.
Okay. Questions? Okay. Do you have any questions?
Always, yeah. Because I know you guys have worked with Tiga, Paul, Kalkbrenner, Mode Selector, a lot of artists that I appreciate, at least. But they seem all to have, like, you always keep this sort of calm aesthetics. You guys are not the guys that just go crazy with all sorts of stuff on stage. Maybe you're more focused on the technical stuff, and I shouldn't ask you directly, but how does that process go? Like, where do you, how do you decide the aesthetics and the overall choreography?
There's in the studio there's like an aesthetics rules that they are not written, but they are there. The look should be funny. It should be nice to watch. Shouldn't be too cerebral, too much minimal. It should be a little bit playful, right? That's one thing that is always there. And when we create, we have it in mind.
Okay. Can we see you guys at ADE?
Yeah, we're playing tonight. Actually, we have two shows: Afterlife in the Mediahafen and Pitch Control in the Sugar Factory.
Sugar Factory. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Well, there's more to see because tomorrow we also have the Absolute Beam Bar. Helene Blanco will be there again. Daniel Popper will be there. In Marktkantine, Beamlab is supporting Pfadfinderei. She has a big video mapped installation. What's more to see? Rembrandt House, of course. Am I forgetting anything?
Well, you actually forgot to say that this was all live streamed. I got like text messages from people that were.
So, the Absolute Beamlab Bar is at the Supper Club, and there's a party afterwards as well with all the VJs, etc. And actually, all we need to do now is have free Absolute vodka downstairs. And the guys will be free over here. Fanta will be here. Thank you, everybody. It was great. Speak to you soon. Thank you, Mo.
Thank you.